Hey, would you do me a favor? Grab your phone or smart device and open up that camera. Then point it right here at the QR code. Do you have it? I'll wait a second. When you see the link pop up on your screen, give it a tap. You ready? Boom! Welcome to the Hillsborough County official YouTube channel. We've got all sorts of videos here, all about what makes our community such an awesome place. From local events and community highlights to what's in the perfect Cuban sandwich. We've got it all. We're always adding new things, so while you're here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss a new video. Here's that QR code again, just in case you missed it. Go ahead and check it out. Ooh. This must have fallen out of that video. This really is the perfect Cuban sandwich.
Good morning and welcome to the January 22nd, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer meeting. I'm Pamela Jo Hatley. I'll be serving as your Land Use Hearing Officer this morning. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Visible. Liberty and justice for all. All right, again, welcome to the January 22nd, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer meeting. And I'm Pamela Jo Hatley, and I'd like to introduce, first of all, Ms. Colleen Marshall with the Hillsborough County Development Services Department to introduce staff and any agenda changes.
Good morning, Colleen Marshall, Development Services. To my right is Carmen Mason of Development Services staff, and to my left is Mary Dorman of the Hillsborough County Attorney's Office. During the course of the hearing, a number of other planners will be presenting their findings for various cases and will be introduced for each item. We have no changes to the published agenda.
All right, thank you. Ms. Marshall, would you like to read into the record the published continuances and withdrawals?
So we have item A1, special use 230586. The applicant is Navigator Academy of Leadership South Shore. This application is continued by staff to the February 26, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A2, variance 230590. The applicant is Yenny Geralt Perello. This application has been withdrawn from the process. Item A3, special use 230966. The applicant is Thanlock LLC, DBA Thin and French Bakery. This application is continued by staff to the February 26, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Special use 240087. The applicant is HB Alliance LLC. This application is being continued by the applicant to the March 25, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A5, variance 240181. The applicant is Lauren and Paul Randall. This application is out of order to be heard and is being continued to the February 26, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A6, variance 240190. The applicant is Todd Pressman. This application is out of order to be heard and is being continued to the February 26, 2024 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. This concludes the withdrawals and continuances.
All right, thank you. So before we continue, if you have any devices on you that make noise, would you please silence them at this time? And thank you for that. The agenda today consists of items that require a public hearing by a hearing master. I will conduct a hearing today on each item and will submit a decision within 15 working days after the conclusion of today's public hearings. My decisions will be filed with the clerk of the Board of County Commissioners. The hearings today will be informal. I will ask questions related to the scope of direct testimony and may call and question witnesses as I deem appropriate. I will decide all questions of procedure. I will take evidence, but will exclude evidence that is irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly repetitious. Evidence may be presented in written form. All testimony shall be under oath. Hearsay evidence may be used to supplement or explain other evidence, but shall not be sufficient alone to support a finding of fact unless it would be admissible over objections in a civil court action. The order of presentation today shall be as follows. For variances, Ms. Marshall will call the case. Development Services will have 5 minutes to present its report and findings. The applicant and applicant's witnesses will have 15 minutes to present the proposal. Proponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments in support of the proposal, and opponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments against the proposal. County staff will have 5 minutes to present any amended findings or comments, and the applicant will have 5 minutes for rebuttal and summation. For special uses, Ms. Marshall will call the case. The applicant and the applicant's witnesses will have 15 minutes to present the proposal. Development Services will have 5 minutes to present its report and findings. Planning Commission, if we have any that they comment on, will have 5 minutes to present its findings of compliance or non-compliance with a comprehensive plan. Proponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments in support of the proposal. Opponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments against the proposal. County staff will have 5 minutes to present any amended findings or comments, and the applicant will have 5 minutes for rebuttal and summation. The 15 minutes for proponents and opponents is the total time allotted among them. So if there are a number of persons who wish to speak on an item, the 15 minutes will be divided among those persons. If there are a number of speakers on an item, you may designate a single spokesperson to represent your views if you wish. When you come to the microphone to speak, please first state your name and address. And this meeting is being recorded, so please speak into the microphone so your testimony can be recorded. And when you're finished speaking, please see the clerk on my left over here to sign in for the record. Now we'll hear from the County Attorney's Office for the legal requirements for appeals of the Land Use Hearing Officer's decision.
This is Mary Dorman from the County Attorney's Office. This Land Use Hearing Officer public hearing is for variance and special use requests. This is the time for interested parties to present evidence and testimony. Once the hearing officer has closed a case, the record of that case is also closed, and no new evidence regarding that case may be submitted thereafter. Any decision by the hearing officer may be appealed to the Land Use Appeals Board. Should a decision of the hearing officer be appealed, the evidence and testimony presented at this public hearing shall be the only evidence that is subject to review by the Appeals Board. In reaching a final decision on petitions, the Appeals Board will only consider the decision of the hearing officer and the record made at this public hearing. If an appeal is filed, the Appeals Board hearing shall consist of oral argument by the party appealing the decision, county staff, and any interveners, each of whom may be represented by legal counsel. The following shall have standing to appeal a decision of the hearing officer or to intervene in an appeal. 1, the applicant, or 2, anyone who appeared before the hearing officer, presented testimony or other evidence, and is adversely affected by the decision of the hearing officer. It is the role of the county attorney's office to ensure that no new evidence or testimony is allowed before the appeals board that was not presented to the hearing officer at today's hearing. The county attorney will recommend that the appeals board disregard evidence or testimony that is outside the record made at today's public hearing. Any evidence presented to the appeals board that is outside the record created at today's hearing could jeopardize the legality of the appeals board decision, and the presenter of the evidence could hurt their own cause. The safest course of action, then, is for you to write down any comments you make today and repeat them to the appeals board.
Thank you, Ms. Dorman. All right, all testimony that will be heard today shall be under oath. So if you plan to speak, please stand and raise your hand to be sworn in. If there's anyone online who plans to speak, please also raise your hand to be sworn in. All right, do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you. We're ready to call the first case.
Today's agenda, we have no vested rights or fee waivers, remands, or reconsideration requests, which brings us to Section F, Site Development Variance Requests. First item is item F1, Variance 230560. The applicant is Root Project Management Group, LLC, Ruth Lindano. The request is a variance to encroach into the wetland setback and variance to landscape buffers. Staff findings will be provided by Wayne Doyen.
Good morning, Wayne Doyen, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. This is variance 23-0560. Request summary is the applicant is requesting a variance from the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback requirement, section 4.01.07.B.4 of the Land Development Code. The applicant's specific request, as shown on the site plan submitted on 9/5/2023, is to allow for an after-the-fact variance for the existing building, asphalt, concrete, and fence within the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback. Also requesting to eliminate the 6-foot landscape buffer along the western property line. LDC's section is section 4.01.07.B.4. LDC requirement, no filling, excavating, or placement of the permanent structures or other impervious surfaces shall be allowed within a required 30-foot wetland conservation area setback. Variance, 28-foot encroachment for the existing building, asphalt, concrete, and fence. Results, 2-foot setback. LDC section 6.06.04.E.1. LDC requirement, a landscape buffer, a minimum of 6 feet in width shall be required between the off-street and vehicular use area and any property boundary not fronted by a road right-of-way. Variance, eliminate the required 6-foot wide buffer. Result, no landscape buffer. Findings. Number 1, the property is subject to a code enforcement case, L227386. The Code Enforcement Board order requires the property owner to obtain approval for a wetland setback variance or remove all fill material and restore the wetland setback. Finding 2, a wetland setback compensation planting plan has provided on the site plan dated 09/12/2023. This provides equivalent square footage of compensation planning to the amount of encroachment.
All right, thank you very much. No questions for you. All right, applicant.
Good morning. Ruth Londono from RU Project Management Group, 1502 West Bush Boulevard, Tampa, Florida, 33612. The suite is the D. Okay, let me insert this one in here for the presentation. That one.
I got you.
Okay, that has something.
Just a little bit off.
Okay. The site for the property is located on 5707 West Slide Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33634. This is on BPO zoning district. We are requesting today a variance to the setbacks for the wetlands setbacks. The code requests a 30-foot wetland setback. In this moment, they have two concrete that is inside the wetlands. This area in here, how can I show you here? No, I don't know, that's not working. Okay, if you see on the site plan, it's really small, but they have concrete, all that you see in black, that is the concrete, and they have also asphalt. On the rear, they have enclosed, if you see the first on the left, that is enclosed to the 30-foot required setback. In conversation with Hillsborough County, they was on the property, they say that we can remove some concrete on the rear and only request maybe 15-foot setback on the rear in that area. But on the east side for the property, they have a small concrete also, and we go to request 2 points because the shape of the property is like L shape. We need to request on that area, we go to request in 2 points. In 1 point, we go to request reduce to 5.7. In the point number 2, we go to request to 8.14. Also, we are requesting to allow to have the fence inside the wetland setback area. The Natural Resources is requesting that we need to have some trees on the area. We are doing, they have in 2 areas that you see all on your right. That is the area where they go to be located the trees for compensation. If you have any question?
Yeah, if you could could we put that presentation back on the screen, please? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so make sure I understand, because the staff report says that the variance request is for 28 feet for the existing building, asphalt, concrete, and fence, so the result is a 2-foot setback. So it looks like maybe the staff report is lumping everything in together, so the least setback that will exist then is 2 feet. So that before and I might ask staff to clarify that, but just before we go there, I believe you mentioned the property is L-shaped, but on the survey it appears for the most part to be a rectangle, except for maybe a little jut out on the east side. Is that correct?
That's correct. You can see that one on the left side on that property there.
Okay.
All that you see with lines, that's the required 30-foot setback.
Okay. So in this picture on the screen, the property boundaries are outlined in the red line,
Correct.
And then your asphalt, your client's asphalt, is that on the west side of the property toward the rear? Is that the asphalt that is in question? And maybe we should look at the screen before this one, the slide before this one. If you can go back, yes, that one. So can go back, yes, that one. So the current site is on my left, and then we have the new site plan in the middle. So it looks like the property owner is going to remove some asphalt toward the rear of the property. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then on the right, the east side of the property, is there any asphalt on that side that we need to consider?
Yeah, they have a little portion that we are requesting. That's the reason we are requesting 2 points there, because you have the shape in that area. We need to reduce a small area in there, and on the rear, that is a little more.
So the area on the east, is that down toward the center of the property, closer to the building?
I'm sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, the area on the east, on the right side of this drawing, the area that needs a variance, is that down towards the center of the property?
Correct,
Close to the building?
correct.
Okay. Is there a portion of the building that also encroaches in the setback?
I think they have, but they aren't close to the wetland setback requirement, but it's just a little portion.
Okay.
It's just a little corner.
Okay. And then the fence that is in question, let's see, is that a chain link fence?
It's a chilling fence.
And is that across the rear, the north part of the property?
That is all on the east boundary line, but they are in close to the required wetland setback, and that is also they have a fence on the rear.
Okay.
That is on the north side of the property.
Okay. And when did this property owner acquire this property?
The violation for this property, yeah, that happened like more than 1 year. But we are going to a process. The first process that we was going to was at the wetland delineations. We had been on the property with EPC, the people from EPC, also for, we was talking also for natural resources. And there has been a little process for this one.
Okay, so it looks like the property owner, Enterprises Global Investments, acquired the property in 2021. I'm looking at the deed.
That's correct.
Okay. When they acquired the property, was the fence already there?
There was a fence before, but they replaced that fence. They have a different fence when they have that one. What happened is that on the wetlands area, they have been with some animals, and they want to block maybe that animals coming here, because the fence was there before. They was thinking that the fence was located on the correct place. The second issue was that they mark on the survey all the corner for the southeast, and they extend to the corner on the southeast point, and they have a red line, but they don't show that there was that have this little L in middle on the lots, between the two lots, and that was the mistake they made. And the other one is that the fence is inside the wetlands setback area.
Are they moving the fence so it'll be consistent with the property boundary?
But that's got to be anyway to, the fence is inside the boundary, the boundaries,
Okay.
okay? But they are inside the wetlands setback requirement.
Okay. Did your client install the asphalt after, this property owner, did they install the asphalt after they acquired the property?
I think yes. I think that was a lot con asphalt there when they got the property, and they installed another portion.
And the part that they installed is the part that encroaches into the wetland conservation area setback?
A little part, yes, but they got to remove that one on the north side. They got to remove almost 15 foot to request maybe just the half, to request just 15 foot on the north side for the boundary.
Okay. All right, so that is that variance, and then the landscape buffer between the off-street and vehicular use, the off-street vehicular use area and the property boundary, is that on the west side as well?
Yeah,
or-
it's between the two properties on the west.
Okay. Could we go down one more slide, please? Yes. Do you have a slide that shows the area
No.
where the,
I don't have that one
Okay.
here, I'm sorry.
all right, but it would be in the southern part of the property near the right-of-way, is that correct?
Yeah, that is on the, I'm sorry, for the buffer is between two properties, that the property that is located on the east side, on the northwest, on the west side.
Okay, all
That's
right,
got to be the buffer reduction.
okay. So they're requesting a variance to have no landscape buffer there. Is there, the asphalt then extends between those properties and there's just no buffer between them, is
Yeah.
that correct?
And they have, the owner for the property that is on the west side is his son. They are all family, they have different zoning, different business, but they have the owner on the left side is his son. They're all family. That is no problem if we reduce the buffer.
Well, as to the property owners, then there's no conflict between
No
them now? Okay. The current property owners?
Yeah. Also, if you go to the property that is located on the east side, they have also, they was also working on the requirements for wetlands, and they get variance also for the wetland setback on the property that is on the east side.
Okay. Could you talk, well, first of all, before I ask that question, this existing slide that is up, no, the next one down. Yeah, that one. What is the rectangular shape on the east and the northeast side of the property there? What is that rectangular shape? Is that a structure?
I'm sorry, that is my mistake.
Oh, okay.
I choose one that he was thinking on have a building there. But according with all that we was working on this property, we made the decision that this property does not go to work to add a building. That's one of the reasons we have a continuance, because I try to convince the owner that does not go to work.
Okay.
But that was, I'm sorry, that was my mistake.
Okay, that's fine.
That
And
does not go to be a building there.
just to clarify that, then,
Yeah,
that
thank
rectangular
you,
shape
yeah.
is not a structure that's going to be
No.
there. Okay.
They don't have the spaces if they want to have a building there. But I was talking with the architect, and we got to need more variances and more things there, and does not go to work for the building right now, for the parking, as for a lot of things. But that was a mistake, my mistake.
All right, thank you. Could you please just explain the hardship related to the variance for the wetland setback for that asphalt?
Okay. We have the that's not going to be to affect any other property around. That's no going to affect the property on the left side and on the right side either. Okay, and they got to allow to the owner to have maybe a parking on the rear that maybe can go to the left side, to the right side, going straight to that area that is with asphalt and concrete.
Do they have adequate parking without that asphalt? Is there adequate
All
parking
all the parking are on the front of the property.
Is there sufficient parking to meet the code requirements?
They need more space on the rear, a little space on the rear.
To meet code requirements?
Yeah.
How many parking spaces do they have? Do you know?
They have, right now, they have, let me show here, in this one. Oh, that's not show there. They have two handicaps on the east of the property next to the building, and they have, on the other area, they have 4 spaces.
Okay. So 6 altogether?
And one more on the east side.
Okay. So 7 altogether. All right. And how many square feet is the building?
They have, I don't have the information here with me.
All right. Do you know how many parking spaces they're required to have
They need 2 more.
to meet code?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And is all of that asphalt in the rear necessary for 2 more parking spaces?
For they need to they need for that space they need the concrete on the rear, and they need the area to go and have the return, because we need the cars go straight, they park in here, they go back, and they go after to go front to the road again.
Okay. So to turn
That's for
around and
the-
get out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else with regard to the
If
hardship?
you have more questions, and if no, I finish with the presentation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
All right.
so
Thank
much.
you. Just be sure and sign in with the clerk. All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Londano, did you have anything further for the applicant? That's a no. All right, thank you. That closes the hearing on variance 23-0560.
Next item is item F2, variance 240115. The applicant is Karen and Tracy Wade. Request is a variance to encroach into the wetland setback. Staff findings will be provided by Wayne Doyen.
Good morning, Wayne Doyen, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. This is variance application 24-0115. Request summary. The applicant is requesting a variance from the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback requirement, section 4.01.07.B.4 of the Land Development Code. The applicant's specific request, as shown on the site plan submitted on 11/2/2023, is to allow for the construction of a pool and paver decking within the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback. Section 4.01.07.B.4, the LDC section, LDC requirement, no filling, excavating, or placement of permanent structures or other impervious surfaces shall be allowed within a required 30-foot wetland conservation area setback. Variance 16-foot, 11.5 inches, encroachment for the construction of a pool and paver decking within the wetland setback. Result 13-foot, half an inch setback. A wetland setback compensation planning plan has been provided on the site plan dated 10/26/2023 that provides equivalent square footage of compensation planting to the amount of encroachment.
All right, thank you. All right, applicant? Good morning.
Drive, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
State that one more time, please. Your microphone wasn't on at first.
Okay. Tracy Wade, 12709 Hammock Park Drive, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
Thank you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so we're requesting a pool install. We had the property built back in 2020. When we signed for the property, we made it known to the builder, West Bay Homes, that we were intending to build a home. They informed me that there would be no problem building the home on that property. Several of my neighbors have pools in that neighborhood along the same street. At least 5 other pools have been built. I was unaware of what that WCASL line meant running through the backyard. They never disclosed it to me that you wouldn't be able to build anything back there. So that's what brings me here today.
All right. And when did you acquire the property, Mr. Wade?
We signed for it, went under construction in March of 2020, I believe it was. And we signed for it at ownership in January of 21.
All right. So you signed a contract with the builder and worked with the builder to design the home and build the home?
That's correct.
All right. And when you bought the property, you said you were aware that there was a line back there.
I never paid attention to what that line was, and it wasn't disclosed to me what that line meant. I didn't do my due diligence to research what it meant, so I'll take the hit on that. But again, we made it known that our intent was to build a pool, and we were told by the company that there'd be no issue. The property line itself, obviously extends further back than what we're trying to build, and the builder and/or developer built that property up. There's at least a 4-foot difference between the home and the drop-off going down to the lake behind us. And when you look at the overview of my neighborhood, some of the other neighbors that have a pool, they're actually closer to the water than what my property is.
When you, just go back to when you purchased your property, you said there was a line that showed on your survey apparently, huh?
It is on the survey.
Okay. And you said the property was built up, the lot was built up. Is there a retaining wall?
There is not a retaining wall.
Okay. All right.
The neighbor directly to my left also has a pool going out to the same distance that we're looking to build ours. And there is also not a large retaining wall for that pool as well.
Do you know whether that neighbor obtained a variance?
I do not believe so.
Okay. And we don't know whether the wetland line, whether that pool encroaches into the wetland setback line, actually.
When I look at the plot map that's drawn, it looks like it touches just the corner of it.
Okay. All right. I can see you've got photos in your survey and your site plan, so that shows it pretty clearly. Okay. Don't think I have any more questions for you. Is there anything you wish to add?
No, I think I've stated my case, and I just want to enjoy the same opportunities that my neighbors have on that street with pools.
All right. Thank you, sir. Be sure and sign in with the clerk here.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, I don't hear anyone. County Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Wade, did you have anything further you wish to add? No. All right, thank you. That closes the hearing on variance 24-0115.
We have no signed variances on today's agenda, which takes us to Section H, variance requests. Item H1, variance 240057. The applicant is Dalen Rojas. The request is a variance to lot development standards. Staff findings will be provided by Carol Ann Peddle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Carol Ann Peddle, Development Services, variance 240057. The applicant requests two variances to accommodate existing conditions of a covered patio attached to the single-family home zoned RSC 6, resulting in a side yard setback of 1 foot and 11 inches and an overall building coverage of 42%. LDC Section 60101, a minimum side yard setback of 7.5 feet is required in an RSC 6 district. LDC Section 60101, the maximum building coverage of a property zoned RSC 6 is 40%. A building permit has been submitted for this existing patio cover. That completes my,
All right, Ms. Peddle, do you know whether there are any code enforcement cases associated with this property?
I do not believe so, but I don't have that note on
Okay. And you mentioned there's a building permit, so that's an after-the-fact permit?
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, applicant.
Hi, I'm going to be here translating for my sister. She doesn't speak English properly, so I'm here to help. Her name is Daylin Rojas, and the address is 6739 12 Oaks Boulevard.
All right, and I need your name and address, please.
My name is Daisy Rojas, and my address is 5618 Pinnacle Circle Heights, Tampa, Florida.
All right, thank you. And both of you are sworn in?
I'm sorry?
Are both of you sworn in?
Well, to be honest with you, when you asked for, this is our first time here.
Okay.
So we probably need to do it because I was seated. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Thank you. Both of you then raise your hand to be sworn in, and you can explain to your sister what we're doing if you wish.
Okay, tenemos que jurar ahora mismo que vamos a decir la verdad. Okay.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, que si juro que dice la verdad, solo que la verdad. Yes.
All right, thank you. And go ahead, please.
Okay, we are here requesting a variance regarding it's like a detachable ceiling that the house has in the side. And my sister built it because she created a space because my mom she has a mental illness, and she usually escaped the home, so she created like a space that she can be outside without to go, and it's actually portable. It's something like metal construction, and that's the reason that she did it, just to have my mom safe, and that's why we're here requesting the variance.
All right. And when did your sister acquire the property?
¿Cuándo compraste la propiedad? En junio del 2021. June 2021.
All right. And this structure is, is it a covered patio?
No, it is on the sides of the house, and it's like a carport.
Okay.
Just in the side, not in the wetland on the back. It is in the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors also has that.
Okay. So it's a covered area.
Yeah.
And does it have a floor?
¿Tiene piso abajo? Yes.
All right, just like a concrete floor, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is it enclosed? Can you walk outside of it?
Que si puedes caminar afuera. Under the ceiling?
Yes.
Yes, yes. It's the space that we have a chair. My mom has to balance all the time, and we have in there like nothing danger, or like concrete, clean, and then we have a chair that she can balance all the time.
Does it have walls?
It has a fence that is white, the plastic ones. Yes.
Is the fence just around the structure then?
It is all over until the end.
Okay, so
But it was there before we acquired the property.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand what the structure is. So the fence is on the property boundary, and that's a...
Yes.
All right. But the structure is just a covered area without walls, correct?
No walls.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the fence, and then the property has like a shape like this, like a triangle, and then it goes like this. So we put the ceiling, and then the fence and the fence in the front create like enclosed space for her to be not going away from the house.
Okay. So how does the cover, all right, just the ceiling, the cover, how does that help keep your mother inside the property?
Well, we cannot have my mom in the sun, like outside, you know, and then if without a ceiling, she will never be able to be outside. It's a shade area that we create that she can balance, and she can just stay.
All right, and I'm looking at the site plan, the survey of the property. It looks like there's the house, and then there's an area in the back with a pool.
It is enclosed with a screen and closed, so she cannot have access there.
Okay, but she could
No, because we don't let her go there.
because of the pool?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
She's actually, she has schizophrenia and
Okay.
bipolar disorder, so she tried to kill herself.
Okay,
so-
you don't have to tell me all of those details. I think
sorry.
it's all right. It's in the application.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, and I'm just scrolling through your application. It appears there was the building department served the property owner with a notice of violation. So
Yeah.
there is a notice of violation.
Le dieron
Okay.
trabajo con la violación.
Okay. All right. Is there any additional information you can provide to describe the hardship, why the variance is necessary, not related to your mother's condition, but related to the property itself?
Well, que si eso es lo que ella, si causa algún problema el shade ahí para alguien o para algún vecino. Problema, ¿no? Well, the variance is not gonna cause any trouble to any neighbors. The actual neighbor, like, goes next to the property, has exactly the same shade. And is not in the back, it is just in the side. It's something like, it's not affecting natural, like nothing, it's just something like a carpet.
Okay. I forgot to ask, does your mother live there with your sister? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about when this structure was built?
¿Cuándo fue que la construyeron? Ese portal. We'll say like 8 to 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I have any more questions. Do you have anything else to add?
¿Tienes algo más que decir? No. Thank you.
Okay. Both of you, please sign in with the clerk here. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right. I don't hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application?
I do.
All right. I'm not hearing anyone. Is there anyone online?
We do have someone.
Okay.
I do.
There is someone. Okay. Please state your name and address for the record and go ahead.
Okay, my name is Julie Hurst. I reside at 6743 12 Oaks Boulevard, Tampa, Florida. I would like to express my opposition to possibly granting the variance sought by the applicant.
Ms. Hurst, can I
yes.
interrupt you just a moment, please? Is there any way you can get your microphone closer? We can't hear you
Okay.
very well.
Can you hear me better now?
Not really.
Oh, no. Okay. How about now?
That's a little better.
Okay, I'll just try and go as close as I can. Anyhow, I just want to, I'm also representing the 12 Oaks Special District. We as a community are opposed to granting this variance because in doing so would create a precedent, thereby emboldening other homeowners to illegally subdivide their dwellings or add additions without first being permitted legally. I do feel for the homeowner because it seems as though that we're building this for humanitarian reasons, but I'm just looking at it from a community standpoint that this would just set a precedent that we just can't continue having people do things illegally without going through the permitting process. I also feel that the contractor that did the work in building the legal porch and the doing an unpermitted enclosure of the garage also took out permits without illegally before performing the work. As a board member, we are dealing with residents illegally building additions and oftentimes renting them out on Airbnb and other short-term rentals, which are not permitted in our neighborhood or single-family dwellings. Often these illegal additions are not safe and not having conforming exits should there be a fire. From personal experience, my husband and I were interested in building a pool cage at our previous residence on Clearview Drive. The contractor who would have done the work for us told us immediately that we could not do so because the cage would have been within the setback of the adjoining home. And I just wish that that we didn't realize now that we shouldn't have played by the rules and just gone forward with doing it and just asked for forgiveness later. I'm also a certified residential appraiser for the state of Florida. In the course of doing an inspection of a home for an appraisal for a loan, and I find that the homeowner has built an addition illegally without permits, we are to alert the county immediately. Generally, the remedy for such a situation is that the homeowner should pay a fine, plus put the house back to the condition that it was prior to the illegal work being done. Anyhow, I just urge you not to grant the application for the variance because of the terrible precedent it would set. And thanks for your consideration.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. And applicant, did you have anything further? Please come forward. Thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in the microphone.
Yeah, I'm here. I would like to add that what the lady mentioned about the area that we create is exactly the same thing. We create an apartment for my mom. It's the same thing. So we create like a space for her to live without, affecting the house. It was never with the intention to break any law or to do anything wrong. And we really apologize if that is, but it is the same. It's an apartment for my mom. Everything is the same thing, okay?
Okay, well,
Thank you.
just let me clarify something here. The only question that I'm considering is the covered enclosure on the outside of the home.
Okay.
If you created some enclosure inside the home or did some work inside the home, I don't believe that is before me. It's just a setback
Yes.
for that structure on the outside.
Yeah, just mentioning because the lady was talking about like we did something without permission, and that was the concern.
And that is something different than this structure?
It's something different that it was also already approved and everything, and it was done.
Okay. All right. Anything further?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, that will close the hearing on variance 24-0057.
Next item is item H2, variance 240103. The applicant is John Grizzar. The request is a variance to fence requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Isis Brown.
Good morning, Isis Brown.
Good morning.
Hillsborough County Development Services. Variance application 240103. The request is for a height variance to accommodate an existing fence in the front yard on a corner lot zoned ASC1. Fences in the agricultural district shall be regulated in the same manner as fences in residential districts, except under certain circumstances that do not apply in this case. A maximum height of 4 feet is permitted for fences in required front yards, except under certain circumstances that do not apply in this state. So they're asking for a variance of 2 feet to a 6 foot high fence in the front yard. And our findings, the parcel has been subject to code enforcement violation CE 22007141, which has been placed in the record.
Just a couple of questions on this one, because I'm not sure I understand. This lot is a corner lot, is that right?
Correct.
Are they requesting a variance for, I guess, what would be considered both front yards, or just one of the front yards?
I guess it would be both in that case.
Because with corner lots, most of the time, there's a front yard that functions as a side yard.
Correct. So then, where's my, looking for my north arrow here. Hold on.
So it looks like there's a front yard along Worley Road on the east and along Scott Road on the south. Are they requesting a variance for a 6 foot fence on both of those yards?
Yes, this side, yes, that's correct.
All right, the
This
south side
side.
and the east side.
Correct.
Is there, from staff's, I guess, opinion, is there a yard that functions as a front yard and a yard that functions as a side yard here?
Well, the front yard would be the driveway, where the driveway is, correct? And so it would be, the east side would be considered the front yard. And then the south would be the front serving as a side.
All right, and the address of this property is Scott Road. And it appears from the survey that what looks like the front of the house
Is on the south.
faces Scott Road. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So,
But according to the code, which one is the front yard? And could staff take a look at that? And if you're not sure right now, could you let me know before the hearing is over?
yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. And that's all the questions I have. All right, applicant?
Good morning, Stefan Beuge with Shoemaker, Loop and Kendrick on behalf of the applicant. Thank you. The applicant is seeking a 2-foot variance to a 6-foot fence. As Ms. Brown just pointed out, the property, the front entrance door of the property is located facing Scott Street, but the primary access point is from Worley Road on the east, and that's where the driveway is, and the garage access is located. So the front yard of the property is functioning as a side yard, which is the longer stretch of the road.
All right, so the front, well, we'll call it the front yard. There's 2 front yards, right? Okay. The front yard on the south, that's what is functioning as a side yard, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But both pieces of the property are subject to the 6-foot fence. The fence is 6 foot in height and is subject to a code enforcement violation CE 22007141. That court enforcement application has currently been abated to the February 22nd hearing date to allow for this hearing to go forward. The applicant had previously brought an application for a variance that was abandoned. The applicant is in the military and was on a military defense contract. He has now brought our law firm in to guide this application through the process. The fence itself is partially transparent with horizontal wooden bars, And the property in itself is uniquely situated in that it is directly across from a facility that trains horses to jump. That's the Tampa Bay's premier hunter jumper equestrian facility. And for that reason, the property owner is seeking the variance and to increase to the 4-foot height of the fence to 6 feet to prevent horses from meandering into his front yard, which has happened when he has been out of the country in the past.
Okay, just to interrupt you for a minute, where is the equestrian center?
It's to the southwest of the property, basically diagonally across.
Okay, so it's south across Scott Road and to the west.
Correct.
Okay. And how many times your client has experienced horses meandering into his yard?
I know that it has happened at least on one occasion. I don't know if it has happened more frequently. He constructed the fence after it happened the first time. I believe he acquired the property in 2021.
Okay. He acquired the property in 2021, so the fence was not there when he acquired it, and he installed it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you described the fence as wood slats.
Yeah, there's a photograph of the fence in the package. Put it on the board.
Okay, I see the photograph, yes. All right, and that fence, as it's depicted in this photograph, that exists now currently on the east side and the south side of this property. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Could you just cover the hardship criteria, please?
You want me to expand on the horses that have meandered into the front yard, and the property owner has built the fence to protect himself and the property from horses entering the property.
All right. Did you have anything further then?
I had 2 letters from adjacent property owners that support the existence of the fence, and they feel like it was an improvement to the neighborhood, and I'd be happy to enter these copies into the record.
You should, please, yes. Put those in the record, and you can do that with the clerk over here.
Cool.
All right.
Otherwise, I have nothing else. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services.
Colleen Marshall, Development Services. Just to clarify for the record, in this case, it's a little unique because there's not really a clear front yard versus that they're both considered front yards, and the front functioning as a side. In this case, the access is coming from one road, and the home is facing the other. It's really judgment call. I would say Scott Road would be the front functioning as a front, with Worley Road being the front functioning as a side.
Okay, and I think the the applicant's representative just now testified the opposite, but as far as the code is concerned, they're both front yards.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, I understand. So it really shouldn't be a question of which one functions as a side yard. They're both front yards. And they're both subject to the 4-foot fence requirement.
Correct. There's a provision for a front yard functioning as a side yard, but it only allows for the fence to go 10 feet into that front. And in this case, the fence is located further into the front yard. So both sides would need the variance.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. All right, applicant, did you have anything additional to add? I might have just a question because based on what the code says about a fence encroaching 10 feet into the front yard, I mean, conceivably, could that fence be moved back so that it didn't encroach further than 10 feet into the front yard.
I mean, I believe it could be at a significant expense. This fence was added and I believe is concrete pillared in. So to move the fence forward would be a significant expense to the homeowner.
Okay, concrete pillar, in other words, supports for the fence?
Yes, because the wooden.
I see. Okay. All right, that's all the questions for you. Did you have anything further?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. This will close the hearing on variance 24-0103.
Next item is item H3, variance 240162. The applicant is Nicholas Chernova. The request is a variance to lot development standards and accessory structure requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Tanya Chappello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tanya Chappella, Development Services, variance 24-0162. The applicant is requesting setback variances to accommodate an existing single-family home, a proposed addition, also one proposed accessory structure, and one existing garage accessory structure. The first variance is a minimum 50-foot rear yard setback is required in the ASC 1 zoning district. The variance is 30 feet, and the result is 20-foot rear yard setback for the existing home with the addition. The second variance is for the existing garage. Accessory structures exceeding 15 feet in height shall meet the primary structure setback of the district. A minimum 50-foot rear yard setback is required in the ASC 1 zoning district. The variance is 42.45 feet, that's the request, and the result is 7.55 foot rear yard setback for an accessory structure over 15 feet in height. So this one was for the existing garage. I'm going to share my notes. Just for clarification, this was the first variance. The second variance is for this little structure, the existing one. And then variances 3 and 4 are for the structure that is not in, not in the place right now. It's a proposed garage. So accessory structures exceeding 15 feet in height shall meet the primary structure setback of the district. A minimum 15-foot side yard setback is required in the ASC 1 zoning district. So their request is 10 feet, and the result is 5-foot side yard setback for an accessory structure over 15 feet in height. Again, this is for the proposed garage. Then the last variance is the same section of the code, where the minimum 50-foot rear yard setback is required in the ASC 1 zoning district. The variance is also 10 feet, but the result is different. In this case, it's 40-foot rear yard setback for an accessory structure over 15 feet in height. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to have your questions.
Well, okay, let's go over the variances again, because there's quite a few here. So the first one is an existing home, right?
Yes.
And 50-foot rear yard setback. So, and we just, yeah, there you go. Thank you for putting that back up. And so that's the arrow pointing from number 1. I guess that's where the rear yard is. Is that correct?
It is correct, yes.
Okay. And then the number 2, the second variance, that smaller accessory structure,
Yes.
is that an existing structure?
Yes.
And it's over 15 feet in height?
It is over 50 feet.
And that's an accessory structure of some kind?
Yes.
All right. And it requires a variance for the rear yard? And that's it. Is that correct? The rear yard?
It is correct.
Okay. Then the third structure there, Okay, it requires 2 variances. And it's a accessory structure.
It is an accessory structure. Yes.
So there's an arrow pointing, I guess that's toward the north, and that's
That will be the side.
the side.
Yes.
Where a 15-foot side yard is required, the applicant is requesting 5 feet. Is that correct? All right, and the other variance for that one, 50 foot is required for the rear yard, and they're requesting 40 feet. Okay, I think I've got them straight then. And that structure, number 3, is not yet existing, but it'll be over 15 feet high. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, applicant?
Good morning. Nick Terranova, 3220 Deer Cove Lane. Thank you for hearing this. I think she detailed it fairly well. Just to clarify a little bit, the property is, the original house was built in 47, and then the land was subdivided sometime before they changed the code, the land use code. So you can see, we can look at this real quick.
And if you need to move that microphone over to point at your, display, that's fine too.
Thank you. As you can see by looking at the property, the north side, well, according to the rules, the east side is the front of the property, which the house faces north, but actually that's the side.
So you have just that little piece of your property that touches Deer Cove Lane. It's on the right of way, and that's why that's the front of your property. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And actually, the neighbors on both sides of me, both their houses face the same way. The north is the front of their house. The south is the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates part of the issue. The other part, obviously, this property was subdivided way back when and created these weird little shapes that we see.
Okay, and the house you said was built in 1947. Is it the same house that was built in 1947 still exists?
Yes, ma'am. I'm pretty sure pieces have been added to it over the years, but I can't find any kind of permit or anything for anything.
Okay, so it's not a legal non-conforming use. You haven't had that established, is that correct?
That is correct. I'm asking, I guess technically I'm asking for that as part of this.
You're asking for a variance.
Right,
to allow it.
to make this legal.
Okay, all right. And you have an existing structure that, the existing accessory structure. Tell me about that one, number 2 on the site plan.
Right. That's a small garage. That's this little building up here. That's a very small, just a little 2-car garage. That and the house were there when we bought the house. We had no idea things were not conforming when we bought the property about 9 months ago.
Do you have any idea when that structure, that number 2 structure, was built?
I can't find a building permit or anything for it. I'm guessing it was before 2000.
Okay.
But don't quote me.
All right, but that was existing when you purchased the property?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see, that's like 7 feet off the property line currently. So I'm asking for a variance to make that conforming. I'm asking for a variance for my existing house to be conforming. I want to add just a little bit to the back of my house here. I want to go south about 6 feet on the house. And because the property line doglegs there, it's going to create more of an encroachment onto the rear setback.
All right.
That's this little spot right here.
Okay. And so that, the variance requesting 30 feet to allow 20-foot rear yard setback, will that accommodate that addition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about the proposed accessory structure.
That's just going to be a hobby shop, something to keep me out of my wife's hair as I retire. I just want to go in there and tinker and do some woodworking and play with my cars and my motorcycle. And the reason I've placed it where it is and in the orientation it is because I don't see another good place to put it on the property effectively. I don't have the room to place it over in this area. I would have a 50-foot setback from the front yard.
Okay.
So that would put, the edge of the building roughly about here, and then it's all over the driveway, or I can't put it between the house and the side yard, or the front, because there's not enough room.
And then in the rear of the property, what looks like the rear, but behind the house?
There's a lake back here, which, I don't want to just, the whole reason we bought the house was to have a view of the lake. So putting a shop building back there, I think would cause my wife to do something drastic like divorce me.
Okay. And the height of that proposed accessory structure, how tall is it?
It's probably going to be about 19 feet high with the peak and the roof.
All right, and you require that height, you require that height or for your hobbies?
Yeah, I want to put a car lift in there so I can lift the car up. So, yeah, to be able to have a large enough garage door and the room to work underneath a car. Crawling under a car is getting more difficult as the years go.
Okay, and when did you acquire the property?
Was it May of last year?
Okay. All right, anything else you wish to add, sir?
Oh, I did have one note. I think that's most everything, if you have any other questions. Yeah, where I'm putting it, the 40-foot setback that we're asking for, we've already got a building between us and the yard there, so.
Okay, so the neighbor to your, I guess that would be to the west, has a building there?
No, well, he actually has a building right up here, yes.
Okay.
But I've got a building between, this is the 40-foot setback.
Oh, I see.
And you can see the existing garage is already there.
I see,
so
I
that's
understand.
right.
Okay.
You care? And as far as the 5-foot, if I had to make that 15, I could, but it would shove my garage all the way up onto my existing driveway. And this part of the neighbor's yard is his driveway. So he's written a letter in support. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him at all. It doesn't change a sight line for anybody, because even if you're standing here and you're looking at that garage, you're still looking at my house. So I'm not blocking a view.
Okay. And that property to the north of your neighbor's driveway, is that just another residential property?
Most of that property is a church.
Oh, okay.
And they do have an existing, what looks like a residential house on it. That is right here in this corner. But like I said, they'd be looking at my house, or if I moved, like I mentioned, I could give 15 feet off of this property line to the building, but the building would still be blocking the same view. So it's not going to make any difference to them at all.
Okay, I see.
And there is a line of trees along this edge of his driveway.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I think that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Be sure you sign in with the clerk.
I will.
All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right. And Mr. Terranova, did you have anything further you wish to add?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. That closes the hearing. On variance 24-0162.
Next item is item H4, variance 240167. The applicant is Sergio Ramos. The request is a variance to community residential home distance separation requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Camille Crocta.
Good morning, Camille Crocta, Development Services for 240167. The applicant is requesting a variance to community residential home distance separation requirements on property zoned RSC 6. Per LDC 61128A, community residential homes housing 6 or fewer residents shall not be located within a radius of 1,000 feet of another such existing home with 6 or fewer residents. This initially came in as a zoning verification administrative review under ZV 230899, and it was discovered that there was another existing type A home within the 1,000-foot radius necessitating this variance request. So the applicant is requesting a variance of 680 feet, which would result in a 320-foot distance separation to the existing community residential home. And this concludes my report. If you have any questions, I'm available.
No, I believe I don't. You covered it well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Applicant?
Good morning. My name is Sergio Ramos. Property address 19705 Spring Willow Court, Odessa, Florida. So as Camille Crocta mentioned, we own a facility 8419 Woodhurst Drive, Tampa, Florida, and we would like to convert that facility, that property into a residential assisted living facility. When we first applied through the zoning department, there's different criteria that they do ask. So one of them is, I might just put this real quick in here. One of them is that we get letters from ACA, so Agency for Healthcare Administration, requiring 1,000 feet radius. That came back with 0 facilities nearby, which is they asked for adult family care homes, residential treatment facilities, and intermediate care facilities. The other letter was from DCF, and we also got a letter back from them saying there was 0 facilities near this property address. Now, the fourth thing they do ask is the APD, so persons with disabilities, and they found the one facility nearby, which is the 8507 Woodburn Court. So we asking for a variance of 320 feet distance separation on this case. We do own a facility we opened back in 2019, Ocean Breeze Assisted Living Facility off of Kelly Road, near Berkeley Prep. We have been really successful with this first facility we open up, so we would like to extend our services to the elderly population. Reason why, for the last 4 years since we opened, every healthcare agency that comes in through the state or doctors, providers, family members, they do ask, do you don't have another facility that we can place, you know, a sibling, or you guys need to expand in the community? Because we're currently a 5-star facility. For a residential facility, which is, I believe, 6 or less, we're 5-star with 16 or 17 reviews, Google reviews, and they do speak really well about our care. So that's the reason why we would like to expand into the residential communities in the area.
Okay. And when did you purchase this property?
So this property, it's with my wife, Mavi Benitez, back in 2000. That was our first property, 2012.
you purchased this, the subject property in 2012?
Yes, yes.
And what have you been doing with this property
It's
since
been renting it. So we had my parents in there for about 7, 8 years. So now we have another family member renting the property.
Okay. All right. And so essentially it's been a rental investment property.
Correct.
And now you wish to convert it to use it as a community residential home for elderly persons, is that correct?
Yes, it's an assisted living facility for the elderly, yes.
All right. And then through the process, I guess, of applying for that, well, the zoning verification, you discovered there's an existing community residential home within 1,000 feet. So what can you tell me about this property as far as any hardships related to the property to support the variance request?
You want to speak into that?
Good morning, Mavi Benitez, 19705 Spring Willow Court, Odessa, Florida. So we are not trying to do anything to their property other than just being able to provide services to the elderly community. As stated before, it's 6 residents or less. So there's no hardship that's going to happen into the neighborhood or anything like that. We have a very good rapport with the neighbors since we've been, in that property. It was first our home for our children, so we have a good rapport around. And the same thing with the Ocean Breeze now at Kelly Road. No issues with the schools nearby or anything like that. We just would like to provide more services for the residents.
Okay, but there's not a hardship related to the property itself then, other than it's too close to another community residential home under the code?
Correct.
Yeah, which is basically when we get these reports back from the zoning department, it's basically the only one that found a community nearby, which is the Agency for Persons with Disability. It's slightly different than assisted living. So this agency, they do more of group homes, which this facility, 8507 Woodburn Court, it's about 2 streets down, and they actually specialize in group home care, which is more of a disabled residents. We actually don't. Assisted living facility, just me helping your mom at my residential facility, more of the activities of daily livings, grooming, you would do their laundry, cleaning. We have doctors that come in every 15 days to provide services. We have many services we bring it into our residential facility. So they're slightly a little bit different. There's actually not a assisted living near this property that we're trying to convert into assisted living. It's just a group home, which falls under the same umbrella, I guess. So
Is under the definition in the Land Development Code.
Right, exactly.
Yes, it's a community residential home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, anything further?
No, I mean, if you guys would like to see some of the reviews from our families, I know you short on time, but we do have the reviews on our family members.
You may submit that to the clerk when you sign in, okay?
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay. And applicant, any final comments?
Real quick, the letters we mail out to the communities, I was getting phone calls like daily. What's this about? What's this about? So they did say, it's great that you guys trying to do something for the elderly community. So they did appreciate us. And we've been in that neighborhood since 2012, so they do know us pretty well. So
Understand.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. This closes the hearing on 240167.
Next application is item H5, variance 240193. The applicant is Raymond and Patricia Ann Conrad. The request is a variance to minimum lot area standards. Staff findings will be presented by Michelle Montalbano.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Michelle Montalbano with Development Services. This is for variance case 240193. The applicant is requesting a variance in order to accommodate a proposed 3-lot subdivision in the AR zoning district. The variance is to allow the access easement area to count towards the minimum lot size requirement. According to LDC Section 60103N, privately owned access easements may be included in lot width calculations but shall not be included in calculating compliance with the minimum lot area for individual lots. Per LDC Section 60101, the minimum lot size requirement in the AR district is 5 acres. With the access easement area excluded, the proposed Lot 3 occupies 4.809 acres. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow the 0.196 acre access easement to count towards the minimum lot area. This would result in a 5.005 acre lot size for Lot 3 in the proposed subdivision, thus meeting the AR district lot size requirement. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Oh, okay, just clarify, you said without the easement area added into the lot size, it's 4.809, is that correct? 4.809
yes,
acres? Okay,
yes.
wonderful, thank you. That's
Thank
all
you.
my questions. All right, applicant.
Hi, good morning. My name is Amber Tu. My address is 2002 Holloway Road, Plant City, Florida 33567. I am the agent for the Conrad family. This parcel, as mentioned before, is zoned AR 1 unit per 5 acres. For the family to utilize the maximum density of their parcel,
Ms. Tu, can I interrupt you just a second, please? I'm having a hard time hearing you as well. Can you get as close to your microphone as you possibly can?
Yes, ma'am. Is this better?
Thank you.
Okay. Is this better?
Not sure.
This too, underneath the, next to the mute button, there's a little downwards arrow. If you can go ahead and click that.
You can go ahead, please. Just try to speak as loud as you can.
And then there should be something that says microphone volume. Drag it all the way to the right.
Okay. Let's see. Is that better?
That might be a little better. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay. I do apologize for that. All right, so this parcel, as mentioned before, is zoned AR 1 unit per 5 acres. For the family to utilize the maximum density of their parcel, a variance to the Land Development Code that states privately owned access easements may be included in lot width calculations, but shall not be included in calculating the minimum lot area for individual lots. So Lot 3 for the proposed minor subdivision is requesting that the 0.196 acre easement to be included in the lot area.
All right, thank you. I think this one is clear on its face. I don't really have any questions for you. Basically, it boils down to the parent parcel is just a little bit too small for a 3-lot subdivision without including the easement area in one of the lots. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Is that all, Ms. Tu?
Yes, ma'am, that is all.
All right, thank you. All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application?
Y'all gonna have to pardon me. I've never been to one of these.
All right, we'll just...
I didn't ever get a letter on what they're trying to do.
All right, one moment, sir.
Okay, my name's Rex Hunter. I live out in Lithia.
What's your address?
It's 11221 Rex Hunter Lane.
Okay.
I was never informed even this meeting is going on. I found out from just a neighbor, did I get a letter? I said, no. I'm trying to find out what this consists of, what they're trying to do. Years ago, they changed the zoning out there, 5 acres or more, anything south of Lithia Pinecrest Road, which is 640 County Road. That's the way it's been. I've heard stories. I don't like to hear stories, but I heard they wanted to cut it up in acre tracts and sell it as a housing project.
Okay, sir. The application involves 3 lots,
Yes, ma'am.
and each lot is required to be 5 acres. One of the lots will be a tad under 5 acres unless they include the easement roadway to get to the lot. So if they include the easement roadway, it'll be 5 acres. And that's what the request is, to include the easement calculation into the lot size. So the lot will be 5.005 acres with that.
Well, look, like I said, I've never seen anything set up for how they're gonna put easement. I don't know where the easement's going. You know what I'm saying? They don't send nothing out there. We don't get nothing. Even we're the adjusted property owners, we never get anybody away from them. The county will not send nothing to the adjusted property owners.
Okay.
And a lot of people that's got land around them, they don't even know this is even happening, ma'am. I'm just trying to find out where they're gonna put the easement. You know, I'd like to have some kind of description of how they're gonna subdivide that land up.
All right, we need to be on the record. Staff is going to show you the property site plan. And we can put that on display. There you go, thank you.
Let me get my other eyes on.
All right, so, sir, the proposed subdivision is on the screen. As you can see, there's Lot 1, Lot 2, and Lot 3. And I believe it's Lot 3. That will be slightly under 5 acres without counting the access way.
Okay, the road's gonna be on the east side of the 3 lots, right?
It looks like it's on the south. Oh, the road is, that's right. Walter Hunter Road looks like it's on the west, and the easement runs from Walter Hunter Road into the property along the south.
Ma'am, that lots they're showing right there don't even touch Walter Hunter Road.
Okay.
It touches Welcome Road. Walter Hunter is west of Welcome Road.
Sir,
Okay, we need to be on the record.
Welcome Church Street is to the east.
All right. So this property is between Walter Hunter Road and Welcome Church Street. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And that's Ms. Montalbano, right? Ms. Montalbano on the record. Okay, thank you. All right. Anything further, sir? Any questions?
Ma'am, that's all wrong.
Okay.
That's all wrong. I don't know who gave you that survey there, but that's all.
Sir, you need to be on the record. We need to hear you speak.
I'm saying that's all wrong, the way they've got this road up here, ma'am. I
All
live
right.
there.
All right.
I've been there for 67 years.
Okay.
Born, raised, everything right there.
All right, and what's your address again, please?
11221 Rex Hunter Lane.
All right, thank you. Anything further?
No, ma'am, that's what I'm saying. If they're going on that right there, it's just wrong. That's
All right.
wrong. They can't base it on that, because they need really a plot plan describing how them roads are and where them lots are.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Be sure and sign in for the clerk. Thank you.
Y'all have a nice day.
All right, Development Services, thank you for helping to display that printout and show us how the property will be laid out. And did Development Services have anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. And did the applicant have anything further to add, please?
No, ma'am. I do believe that he may be speaking of the next variance.
Anything further to add for this application, Ms. Tu?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. All right, that closes the hearing on variance 24-0194. I'm sorry, that was 0193. All right.
Next item is item H6, variance 240194. The applicant is Raymond and Patricia Ann Conrad. The request is a variance to minimum lot area standards. Staff findings will be provided by Carolyn Peddle.
Good morning.
Caroline Peddle, Development Services, variance 240194. The applicant requests a variance to allow the easement area to count towards meeting the minimum lot requirements for 2 of the 3 lots in a proposed subdivision zoned zoned agriculture. Per LDC Section 60103N, privately owned access easements may be included in lot width calculations but shall not be included in calculating compliance to the minimum lot area for individual lots. So for Lot 1, they're requesting to allow 0.33 acres easement area to count towards the minimum lot area, resulting in an area of 5.093 acres. And then for Lot 2, the request is to allow for a 0.318 acre easement area to count towards the minimum lot area, resulting in an area of 5.088 acres. And that concludes my presentation.
All right, so this one's very similar to the previous one then. We have
Yes.
3-lot subdivision, but here we have 2 of the lots that are just slightly under 5 acres, and the variance seeks to include the easement area for those, for Lot 1 and Lot 2, correct? All right, thank you very much. All right, applicant.
Hi, good morning. My name is Amber Tu. My address is 2002 Holloway Road, Plant City, Florida 33567. I am the agent for the Conrad family. This parcel, as mentioned before, is zoned AR, 1 unit per 5 acres. For the Conrad family to utilize the maximum density of the parcel, we would need a variance for the access easements to be included in the minimum lot area for the individual lots. As mentioned, Lot 1 would need the 0.336 acre easement to be included in the lot area, and then Lot 2 would also need the 0.318 acre easement to be included in the lot area as well.
All right, thank you very much. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, not hearing anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? Be sure and state your name and your address again for the record for this case, please. Thank you.
My name's Rex Hunter. My address is 11221 Rex Hunter Lane.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am, Raymond owns a bunch of land out there. He used to be an orange grove, and the trees died. All I can tell you is I don't know what lot, but the one I'm worried about is the one that's nearest to my house, and it's on Welcome Road. Like I said, I ain't got no information on what he's trying to do or what he's trying to do, but that's the one I'm looking at. It's right there on Welcome Road. And if he's gonna cut it up in 5 acre tracts, I got no problem with that, but I don't want him to cut it up because anything, like I said, ma'am, before, south of 640 is 5 acres.
All right. Thank you. I understand that. Anything further?
No, ma'am, that's it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Be sure and sign in again, please. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right. Don't hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. Thank you. And applicant, anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. That closes the hearing on variance 24-0194. And it appears that concludes our land use hearing officer meeting for today.